in the Niger Delta region. And today we are live in the Baramatu Voice news room, where issues have been raised in terms of these elections that has been ongoing, and the elections, governorship and national state House of Assemblies elections are around the corner. And it has been a very critical time in the Niger Delta region, in Delta State as well. With me in the studio,
Jeromario Otomi.
Yes,
good to have you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And it has been very interesting. Elections, the presidential election, national assemblies, and representatives, and so many elections has been carried out in recent time. And around the corner is the governorship election, and not just far. Exactly. This week Saturday.
Yes, it's very interesting. In fact, we are like watching keenly and closely to see how it's going to play out. But before then, we thank our teaming viewers. You've been so wonderful, not just sticking but gluing to Baramatu Voice, and you guys, you can attest we're not in any way disappointed, and we even promise to do more. And we really encourage you to make this exercise an interactive one by telling us what you feel, your feedbacks, reactions. You can do that. You can ventilate these ideas using any of our social media platforms, or go to the comment section on our social media platforms and drop your comment. And definitely, and we shall, upon receiving it, read it out for the consumption by all. Again, on behalf of the CEO of our great organization in the person of Abai Jacob, we welcome you to this segment.
Yes, thank you. Just go straight, as you said, to the comment section. Drop your comments and what is necessary for us to improve on our live broadcast. It's very, very important at this point in time.
At this segment, we have one of the governorship aspirants in the state with us, in the person of...
we have Chief Honorable Edijala, who is from the People's Redemption Party.
The flag bearer of People's Redemption
Party.
The candidates. One of the top contenders, exactly.
Yes, out of the 16
governorship candidates in the state.
Yeah.
Hello, Chief. Good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. And how are you this afternoon?
Good afternoon to you, please.
Yeah, good afternoon. Welcome to Baramatu Voice Studio. Speaking with you is Jeromario Otomi, and with me in the studio is
Asiaye Enaimbo.
Chief, it's wonderful. Yeah, it's wonderful, having you here. Despite your tight schedule, you've been able to make out this time to be with us. We indeed appreciate.
In fact, I'm actually on a campaign trail. I had to just pull by the side of the road to take this call.
Wow, this is
okay.
Yeah, because I trust that Baramatu Voice is a very reliable and formidable station.
Yeah.
And
thank you.
You're doing a very great job.
Thank you so much. In fact, we appreciate these kind words. God bless you, sir. Yeah, so how is the business of electioneering going, Chief?
Well, it's going so fine, so well, because as expected, it's a very huge competition.
Definitely.
All the political parties are trying to sell their product, and we are saying ours is the best. We're trying to get the Ijaw nation to know that, yes, they constitute the gateway to the economy of Delta State, and we have the key to open the gate for the development of Delta State. So we are on one page with the Ijaw nation. And since you represent the Ijaw voice, I want to congratulate you, because if you have the gateway, the gate is by your end. It means that the one who comes with the key and the one who has the gate are all stakeholders. So we are co-stakeholders, including all the people of Delta State. We believe that we can have a proper Delta State that will develop at a pace that is necessary. As it is right now, we are going down slowly. The poverty level is really biting hard. And I want you to also know that the national average of 63% of poverty in Nigeria hits much in Delta. Delta is getting even poorer by the day. Local governments like Isoko North, they have about 97.4% of poverty rate because they don't have employment. Even Warri Southwest has about 92% of joblessness in a place where oil and gas is being explored. This kind of poverty is ravaging. So we are all critical stakeholders. We need to get out of this poverty that our government have put us. I say our government because everything starts and ends with leadership.
Exactly.
The kind of leadership we have will determine whether we're going to move forward as a people. The military have all been decapitated. As we speak right now, tell me one of those companies that are still working. The NNPC refinery is not working. The BSC is in fact in complete shambles right now. Nothing, apparently nothing. We are still relying on the roads that were constructed in 1970. All the roads constructed in 1999, many of them have been patched and repatched, and of course, we don't have any new road. If you look at what they're trying to do between Ugele and Asaba, that has taken them 16 years and it's still not completed. So it is clear that the government in power, both at the state and the national level, cannot serve our purpose anymore. That's why some of us try to go to a more ideological party. The PRP is an ideological party. It's the oldest party and the last man standing of all the parties of its era, including MPA, UPN, MPP and all that. It is only PRP that is still standing with the same ideology. The only party that developed the northern region. All the development of the northern region was done by PRP and that has remained so. If you go to the north today, you will see the industries there. But where are they here in the south, in Delta State? None to show. No industries here. That's why we are saying, let us do all that we can to industrialize. That's the only way we can get out of this excruciating poverty. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chief, thank you so very much. We are excited with your, in-depth challenges.
Yes, I'm coming with my power agenda, and my power agenda is very clear and simple. The power agenda talks about productivity, order, wealth creation, education, and then re-engineering of critical infrastructure. So everything boils down to production. So if I win, or when I win, we're going to set up 100 industries in Delta State, 4 per local government. And we have said that in Warri Southwest, where you had the gas city project that was abandoned by the federal and state government,
EPZ.
we'll revive it. We'll go and source for money from outside and fund that $15.5 billion US project, because that one alone will take over 500,000 people out of the job market. And when you have 500,000 people out of the market, tell me how many people are left. This is also coupled with the 4 large-scale manufacturing companies that want to set up across all the 25 local governments of the state. Now, a minimum workforce for each of these companies, as we envisage, is 10,000 persons. That's about 1 million to get everything we need. All the money to fund the government and fund all the infrastructure that we need from taxation. The year alone, to pay a year for 1 million workers is 50 billion naira. So when you have 50 billion naira, what is the allocation of 10, 20 billion? They go to Abuja and everybody will steal from it, and then nobody's working. We need to start working. We need to get our people back to decent jobs, not this kind of jobs that we are seeing everywhere, where people just manage to survive. We must avoid indecent jobs if we want to develop as a people. Our youth no longer want to go to farm with hoe and cutlass. Don't blame them. Nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to go to farm with hoe and cutlass. So I need us to understand the narratives at this time. We want to modernize every single thing we are doing. Is it agriculture? Is it even industrialization? We have everything that it takes. We have 40% of the gas reserve of Nigeria. We are actually a gas haven. Delta State is blessed with both natural and human resources. What we lack is leadership. We have not found the right party, and the PDP as well as APC have tried it and have failed both at state and federal level. If I'm sounding to repeat what I've said earlier, but it must be said, and everybody must buy into it and know how we can, sweep or move these people out of position and put the right thinking people. We need to engage at least 70% of our youth in government if this country must develop. They need to be retired. Those who have, been in government for over 24 years and they want to die inside government, will help them to, go on retirement so they don't die on our hands. So please, we will have to do what is right. Manufacturing. This manufacturing that we are talking about is critical to our development. So on that note, I really want to say, please, the people of Delta, they should go out there and vote massively for the PRP, a party that can develop our potential. We have a key with us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chief. It's a very extensive explanation in regards to your agenda, which is power, P for productivity, then O for order, and W for wealth creations and all of it. And look at education and re-engineering. Then look at the areas of wealth creation that you talked about, because in Delta State, for instance, now joblessness is a major concern to the people, and people find it very difficult. And even the current administrations, in terms of creating Yaga program and all of it, do you mean that the programs and all these job creation, which for instance currently Delta State has a lot of unemployment challenge, is it those Yaga programs that were created by the incumbent government, is it not sustainable that you want to take a different shape from that perception?
The YAGEP and all the programs both at the federal level will never help our people to grow. The youth of today cannot survive based on this ad hoc kind of development. No. The SMEs can no longer help us. We need large-scale manufacturing to be able to get the millions of unemployed people out of the job market. So, for you to do that, you must be able to get your goods to the international market. So you can sell your goods and earn dollars. Now, if you keep, doing your garage the way it is, and you sell it to yourself, you'll be trading in Naira. You must transform your cassava to an exportable product. Like for instance, as I speak with you, I have a contract to supply China 100,000 metric tons of cassava chips. Wow. And that's a $20 million contract every month. Now multiply that by 12, that's $240 million. That in itself is the budget of Delta State. So only cassava alone, if we take cassava alone, we will be able to, get the budget of Delta State going. Now, but we must standardize it to the form that the cassava will be acceptable in the international market for us to earn that dollar. As it stands today, if you tell somebody to produce garri in one village, by the time you get to another village, you see the quality of garri will change. We now need a proper system where we can manufacture standardized goods that will in the international market. You understand?
Yes, we are with you, sir.
That's the same way the world will take us seriously. Our goods have not been standardized. Natural resources that we have. That is where we need to start. And like the Governorship voice, which represents the Jaw Nation, you will know that you have the gas reserve of this country within your domain, alongside the Soko and Urobo. So now, we will need to get things done rightly. We will need to harness the natural gas and use it for the industrialization. So what we are talking about is all about production. We need to get the factors of
okay, thank you so much, Chief.
There is one aspect that I wanted to get clarification. For instance, now in Delta State, majorly the sectors are not working. If you look at the agri sectors and whatever you could talk about now. And most of even the small scale businesses have a lot of challenge in terms of because of no constant electricity to keep their business going. And when you look at your agenda, you talked about power. How would you intend to create this, make these small sectors continue to boom in the areas of empowerment?
Most of the small sectors they are talking about, they are in the service sector. I'm not targeting service sector at all. We have too many hotels, too many business centers. We only have traders in Nigeria. We don't have manufacturers. Most of the companies are relocated from Nigeria, and we don't want that to continue. So the large-scale companies we are talking about, as they are coming in with their roads, with their schools, with their hospitals, and with their power, just like DSC. So we are bringing about 100 DSCs to Delta State in the next 4 years. And we know that will take over 1 million people out of the job market. And then we are standardizing the income. We are saying the least paid worker, the cleaner in the factories, must be paid 100,000 naira. That's the only way they can have sustainable income and be able to have expendable income. As it stands right now, the 30,000 naira minimum wage cannot help anybody. It's not the take-home pay. It cannot take anybody to their home. So we must drive production. As they are producing, they are creating wealth. That's where we get to wealth creation. They are creating wealth for themselves. Government must sustain the level of wealth that the citizens create. Because if you devalue the naira, you devalue the worth of their productivity, at the end of the day, so when you see that government is devaluing the naira, they are actually stealing from the people. They're stealing the hard work of the people. As the government, I know we don't have control over currency, but we can benchmark our currency or our production in foreign currency. If naira, like, let it be 2,000 naira to the dollar, it doesn't concern me anymore. What concerns me is that I'm producing cassava and I'm selling the chips, I'm putting value to it, and I'm getting dollar back. I don't know if you understand the model I'm trying to apply.
Thank you so much, Chief.
Thank you.
Seriously, your programs look so alluring. But at the same time, you said in the education sector that you're going to be budgeting or setting aside 30% of the state's annual budget to education, even when the United Nations, benchmarked.
The threshold is 26.
Yeah, sorry.
Even when the UNESCO threshold is 26.
Of course. So, and even at the 26, so many nations are complaining that other sectors will suffer if they should. So we are here right in the studio wondering how you're going to make it 30% when other states and other nations are not even able to meet up with the statutory 26%. Can you throw more light to that plan, sir?
So let me tell you, Delta State is doing less than 7% for education, right?
Just like the federal government too.
Just like the federal government. It shows that they don't put any preference on
education. Of course, we are aware.
If you want to destroy a people, lower the level of education, then you can destroy all of them. Yeah. So I don't believe that everybody must go to the university. I'm not of that school of thought. Okay. But I believe that everybody must be literate. Everybody must know numeracy to be able to count, calculate, and read and write. So I will put in most of this best effort into the elementary as well as the primary into secondary education. As far as I'm concerned, the best that I will do is to, get the education free to that level of GS3. Okay. After which I will now get all of them to do an intelligence quotient test where I will check whether we are ready to go for paper qualification or technical education. So when that happens, I will pick the ones that are qualified to go to senior secondary school and make sure they go back to boarding system, because that's what I enjoyed in my time, and that's what has made me who I am today. So the ones that are not academically inclined, we will take them directly to the workforce. At the age of 15, when they are leaving the GS3, they are already going to start working. And in their mentorship scheme that we're trying to provide for them, I can assure you that they will be earning a minimum of 50,000 naira from that age of 15, meaning that they can build their lives. And when they build their lives, they will be at the point where they cannot decide to save and go back to school on their own. So education will need too much, and we are going to target certain sectors. We are in pandemic times. Only God knows when the next pandemic will come. So we are now thinking that we should produce at least 25,000 medical doctors in the next 8 years. And for us to do this, we need to convert all the general hospitals to teaching hospitals.
Wow.
And when we do that, when we convert them to teaching hospitals, we will now be able to get students through the Delta State University and put the campuses all across the state. So you have all the local government headquarters having campuses, medical campuses in the general hospitals. Then we'll take the general hospitals to become referral hospitals. They are going to be there as teaching hospitals and then. So that way, we are going to train those numbers of doctors within the next 8 years. Which, of course, we don't need all those doctors. We can even export them. We can export human capital.
Of course, 25,000
The world
in 8
needs
years.
human capital at this time. If you know, 2019, the diaspora remittance to Nigeria was $25 billion US. That same year, the national budget of Nigeria came up to 25 billion. So all the oil and everything was still 25 billion. Whereas Nigerians who are outside, I'm talking of the official remittance, not the illegal one, was 25 billion. So it's right time we took our stand and train our children, send them. So we're looking at just two sectors. Even the digital economy must go in the direction the world is going. We must be able to have become the backbone for the digital takeoff of Africa, not just Nigeria alone. We need to have a data bank. Data State should be able to set up a data bank. As we speak to you now, Nigeria does not have a data bank. Most of our information, like the National Identity Management Scheme, they don't have sufficient data. If you go to MTN and say, oh, the thing has gone down, no network, no this, no that. It's because we don't have a data bank. You can treat as business, it's even more lucrative than oil. You need to have data bank where you have servers to cover a place like Warri to be full with just servers and batteries to take this data and store them. I have a son who has a wallet. The data America and of course South Africa, not in Nigeria. Data State can take that as a business and house the data bank of Africa so people can store their data here. So you just need the government to understand the dynamics. Here people are still talking about roads where people already, Elon Musk is already in the moon, creating hotels, creating other leisure for people. We are still here. I will leave here now and go to Onomoro. I was in Ozoro. I'm now coming Isoko Nation because I need to get their vote. This is pigeon's way of living. We have to get out of it. So my government is such that we prioritize education. And 30% of our budgetary requirement will be put into education because we know that if we give them the right education, we can actually, get so much revenue from the people who put into education. Whether they even come back or not, they have relatives here that they will send money to, and that will help us develop our economy. Let me tell you, government cannot develop a place. It's the people that will develop the place. Once they are gainfully employed, when they are well trained, apart from junior secondary school one that we will train on the job, we will also train our old men and women who are the half-baked illiterates as we see them. We will train them on the job. You can actually start riding or moving any of these earth movers within a week if we train you. So we will train people on the job. We are not going to take paper qualification as something that you must have before you become successful. No,
as it is done now.
Yes.
Thank you so much once again, Chief. Then we need to draw your attention to two striking areas. If you are looking at your program, you promise to raise the minimum wage to 50,000 naira. Yeah, we would like you to throw more light on how you plan to go about it. And secondly, our area of primary concern. Chief, the Niger Delta is troubled but not despondent. They have suffered degradation, pollution, deprivation, and outright underdevelopment.
Also
Sir,
part of unemployment.
yes, how do you plan to make this the development of Niger Delta region sustainable? I mean the coastal area of Delta State. I'm not being
Okay.
yes, okay.
Let me just explain to you. I was in the riverine area about 2 days ago. I went to see the king of Baramatu Kingdom. I was impressed to see that I think the Kwemupolo intervention,
The Tantita surveillance.
the Tantila, whatever
Tantita.
the name is called, yes, has helped to curb the excesses of crude oil bunkering. So when I saw the rivers, I see that they are already reclaiming itself. I see the river banks. I see that the whole place is reclaiming itself. And in no time, if it continues like that, in another 2 years, we'll start having our fishes back. Our red sniper, croaker, fish, everything will start going back to our rivers. Because this action was inflicted on ourselves. We thought we were doing the government when we started building pipelines and all that. But I think if anything, the intervention by this
Tantita
NMPC,
Security Service.
yes, good Tantita, so has helped to wipe all that out. And I want to tell our people that it is wrong to vandalize other people's properties, whether oil companies or government properties. If you do that, you are sabotaging yourself. All those oil that we just collect from the pipeline and we sell very cheaply to other people, those oil are supposed to give us part of our allocation. It's supposed to be part of the derivation into our allocation. So we are actually hurting ourselves. It would have been better the money comes to allocation and have a good government like the one I'm proposing to manage those monies on behalf of the people. So in terms of environmental degradation, it is we ourselves that will need to take that bold step to tell ourselves the truth. That we are not hurting the government in Abuja, we are actually hurting our environment. But like I said, let me congratulate Mr. Gompolo for what he's doing, but he should do it within the ambit of the law. I do not expect him to take laws into his hands because I am one that believes in the rule of law. So that's what I would say in that respect. In terms of the 50,000 minimum wage,
sure,
that is what I want to set for the public sector. The public sector, there's no way anybody can take 30,000 as take-home pay anymore. Naira has been so devalued. 30,000 naira is well below $200 in a month. That puts that person within the poverty range. And we don't want poverty to continue. We want to eradicate poverty. We want to move out of the 6 million deltas. We want to move at least 4 million of them out of this abject poverty that we have found ourselves. So what that means is that we are going to develop the private sector and set the minimum wage there at 100,000. So a cleaner there will be 100,000, but in the public sector, it will be 50,000 so that there will be no incentive to remain in the public sector. You will see people resigning from the public sector and going to join the private sector. Just like the way people were leaving shares to go and join a DSC at the time. This is kind of revolution we're trying to create. And we need the people to understand it and join us to go and vote on that day and vote PRP because we have the key to the economic emancipation of Delta State. And if we can emancipate Delta State, we would have emancipated the Niger Delta because everything begins and ends in Delta.
exactly.
The Niger is very far off. This is the Delta of our time.
Of course.
So when you say Niger Delta, you're actually talking of Delta State. And that's why everything that comes up within the Niger Delta starts from Delta State.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
very much. And there is one area I want to look at it. before we round up this interaction section. Looking at, for instance, now if elected, there is this leadership failure in various sectors, and that is as a result of recycling the old people, the same set of politicians that the people have lost trust. And when coming into power, a lot of persons, is the same circle of persons being appointed into various offices, and that trend has been in continuity. And if elected, how do you intend to manage the process of bringing a new breed in order to carry out your administration efficiently?
Yeah, if you look at my agenda, you see that I said all appointments will be 70-30 in favor of the youth, our boys and girls, within the age of 25 and 35. I'm increasing to maybe 40 because a lot of people within the 40-45 bracket have been so shortchanged. So I'm increasing to about 45 because they still fall within the youth bracket, they still have a lot of energy. But I will not take old men to run my government because to start with, they are the same people who have created the problem that we're trying to resolve now. They cannot solve it for us. We have seen where they failed. We will now have to solve it. I have a mind of a youth. I will do their bidding because I know the world is going in that direction. The youth, like UK, the outcome, young persons are taking over reins of government. Finland, these are the world leading economies. This is where the life expectancy is even very high. So we need to have these young people in a mentorship scheme, mentor them to become the next generation of leaders. So, quite frankly, I can give you my word, and if I go against it, you have the record. You can call me back to it. We're not going to take these old folks into government. We will give them 30%, that's including of myself, because once they are above 50, you are assumed to be old. So, between myself, my deputy, and a few other appointees that will hold about 30%. 70% will go to our boys and girls. I think that's fair enough, isn't it?
Okay,
Wow, that's a very great one. But just before we go, the final question, let us look at the cost of governance. It's hitting the height. So how do you intend to curtail it when you finally assume office?
The cost of governance is well over 80%.
Of course.
Of the recurrent expenditure, well over 80%.
Yeah.
No government can survive
on that
80% recurrent. So we are reversing the trend. Recurrent should be like 20%, while capital will be 80%. We are going to develop new infrastructure to open up Delta State. From Escravos, we are going to set up a port in Escravos that will open up the port in Warri, Sapele, Koko, Ugara, and other places. Then we're going to design a road from Warri, from Ogrijo, through the Ujewu end, through Big Warri, straight to Escravos. And it's going to be road and rail. And we're targeting 2 years to achieve this. From the Ogulahazis, we're also going to take another road and rail through Bomadi, Patani to Asaba. There's going to be an oil and gas port in Fokado. Already we have the facilities there. So this will open up Delta State. And that's why I say Warri Southwest Buruto have become the gateway to Delta State. We must put so much attention. That's why I've gone to those royal fathers to solicit for your people to understand the vision that I'm coming with. I'm from Delta Central. But I know that if Delta must develop, then we need to go to the gate and open it. That's why we're going with the PRP key to open it. The power agenda is one good solution. It's the best solution, in my opinion, at this time to solve the serious problems of Delta State.
Chief, thank you very much. Before we go, your final message to Deltans.
I want to call on the Ijaw Nation, since this is Governorship voice, and of course I know you have a lot of
followership.
Coverage,
yes.
Followership. I want to call on the Ijaw Nation to, take away everything politics, political parties. Let them look out for the individual. As I speak with you, let them go and search for another governorship candidate from PDP, from APC, from Labour, from anywhere else, and check out what I've said and see if any of them can stand and have the contact, the connection. I'm not boasting. the connection and the contact that can achieve this for us. Because you are not going to deal with Delta State alone, you must connect to the international community. How many of them have the connection to get to that international community that will give us the development that we want? And the knowledge, they are not there. I stand tall among all of them that are contesting right now. I've been there before. I was the governorship candidate or aspirant of AD in 2003. I was also the governorship candidate of Labour Party, Ivory Labour Party to Delta State.
Wow.
So I'm not a neophyte. I'm not new in this game. You might say, "Oh, where have you been? Why have you not been talking?" Yes, PRP is a new party in this area, but it's offering the best product. So why can't we buy into it? I urge all Deltans, including the John Nation, to go ahead and vote PRP en masse, and they will receive the benefit. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much, Chief. Again, we are very grateful for this time out. We appreciate you and the entire management and staff of Baramatu Voice. You know, it's wishing you well in your endeavor. We pray and hope to celebrate with you when you finally, assume office. So that is how we are going to draw the curtains for today, and if the need arises, we will definitely come back to you for more clarification. Again, many thanks and enjoy the rest of your evening, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yes, okay.
God bless you too.
Amen. And you too. Yeah, hello viewers, you are all welcome back to the program. And again, that is what we promised that we're going to be doing, and more is yet to come. We are on that journey. We have 16 candidates. We are working around the clock to see if we can make it, to that extent of bringing, allowing you to interface with your governorship aspirant. At least from what they are saying, it will assist you make a informed decision on whom to vote and whom not to.
This is a point of where you see people's blueprint. People are seeing it, and you can hear it very clear. And so this is a time you hold people accountable, responsible. That this is what you said, and you are deviating from this point. Bringing in the governorship candidates from different political parties to talk to Deltans is very key, and that is what Baramatu Voice has been doing.
And it's equally more reason. This is equally the more reason why you should glue to
Baramatu Voice. It has been a very interesting moment in the studio, and it's enjoyable where people listen to you. Those who haven't known you from these platforms, they have, this is a very clear blueprint, a very clear agenda to follow suit. So at the end, you should know that it is a direction, it is a